I'm Amy.
I'm Wendell.
And I'm Patrick.
And
This is
Yes,
But Why?
Podcast.
Also, I want to point out that Patrick is wearing a hilarious shirt today.
Oh, yeah. When the zombies attack, I call shotgun, and it has a shotgun.
And then there's a picture of a shotgun.
It's October. As soon as October rolls around, yesterday, I was wearing Halloween pajamas and a skeleton shirt.
Can you explain, please describe for our guest what Halloween pajamas means for you?
So they're orange, white, and black, and they basically have any movie from like the 1920s through the 1940s that are in public domain of some sort now, just kind of plastered all over them with the words "boo" and whatnot.
Wait, any horror movie?
It's just a whole. It was basically, it looked like a designer was like, "What's in public domain? Great, throw it on these pants. Done." So, because I have a tradition at midnight. My friends and I get together and we get pumpkins, and right when it hits midnight, we put a knife into that pumpkin and start carving. So,
wait, midnight of October?
And midnight of the 30th, yeah, to the 1st. So,
wait, okay, so midnight on Halloween.
No, midnight last night.
Okay,
September 30th,
the first night of October.
Of October. Yeah,
to christen the season of
exactly.
Halloween.
Yep.
Did you guys play light as a feather, stiff as a board?
None of us are way under the amount that would require us to play that game with fingers.
Wait, is there
Just so you're clear, like, that doesn't work, so
yeah.
it's not like a real thing.
If you have enough people, everyone lifts because you're taking a tiny amount. Like, that was the game when you were a kid. You never did this at, like, church camp
people,
where there's like 13 kids, and you're like, let's all try it out, dude.
No, Patrick, I was a fat kid always and forever. No one's ever been able to lift me up. I'm not stiff as a board or light as a feather.
Everyone's wearing white robes. You know, we all, like, drink that funny drink that the Messiah told us to.
You guys didn't do this at your church camp?
Stand around, and then they lift you up, and you see the fourth moon of Jupiter, and No, I imagined this in the context of like a slumber party where like at most 8 little girls are in a living room.
Echo.
What'd you do?
Oh God,
for?
what'd you just touch? I didn't touch anything. Oh damn it!
Hey, you're still there.
I don't
Jerome?
care. You still there?
Jerome?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
Jerome,
All right. I won't. My hands are behind my back.
We'll hold 2 seconds. We touched something and it echoed.
Oh my God.
So let's go back to Patrick thinking that you can lift somebody up with your fingers.
No, wait. Can we go back to the fact that you, like, straight in front of a stranger guest were like, and then my friends and I lift up the knife and pierce the flesh.
I know, yeah.
Hold on.
Like, this is a stranger, Patrick.
We cut the pumpkin. We cut the pumpkin at midnight. That sounds like
I am a guy wearing a zombie T-shirt. I'm ready to share all of my stories about Halloween with anyone that'll listen.
We all hope one will scream eventually.
So it's good to meet you.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Jerome, do you like Halloween?
Of course. Who doesn't like Halloween?
I don't know.
No, yeah, like
sad people, I guess.
Okay, when I'm near Patrick, I feel like I don't like Halloween. Like, because I love Halloween, but I don't really love it. Apparently,
well, I like Christmas more than I like Halloween. So
I've never seen a Christmas decoration at your house. Yet your house is a haunted house at all times.
That's just because I'm a terrible homeowner. Yeah, I don't decorate for Halloween, really. Like, the only thing I do for Halloween is not cut a section of my grass and then put a tombstone up so it looks spooky in that area. That's it. Halloween lights galore, tree.
Well, then, plus you have your
Christmas lights galore.
Christmas, yeah, sorry.
No, so okay, really though.
Yeah,
because like I don't.
Hold on.
Why don't you go design like Santa workshop things like you do haunted houses then?
Oh, it's not as much fun. It's a different, like, Christmas is about, like, giving and making things to give people, and Halloween's about scaring the crap out of people. It's just different. It's a different part of your life. And then I go to the theater to make people laugh, so, you know, it's all...
Oh, my God. So, Jerome...
What are you going to do for Halloween?
That's a good one.
Well, I've got a 5-month-old at home, so we're figuring out.
Oh.
We're probably gonna have to dress her up for some sort of costume, but she's too young to, go to a party or trick or treat or anything.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, really? I also have a 5-month-old at home. Congrats, by the way. And I was going to use that child who can't eat food to be an excuse for me to get candy. Is that unacceptable?
No. I mean, if you want to, go for it. I'm the lame-o that scheduled a theater rehearsal at my house on Halloween night this year. So.
Oh, okay, cool. So speaking of which, I wanted to ask you, you are the founder of the podcast network, the IABD network. How did you become the founder of a network? How does that work out?
Accidentally, just like I do about everything.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
No, I like to write. Primarily, I consider myself a writer. I've been a professional TV critic for a while. I've written a couple novels that I just put out myself, and I was looking for something to write. So I came up with this. I decided to do comedy radio serials in the style of old timey radio programs, and thought, hey, let's do it live in front of an audience and record it, and make that a podcast as well as a live theater show. And that kind of snowballed, and I got all these really talented people to come play, and then they all had other ideas of things to do, and then I was like, well, why don't I just put a network, and then you can put your podcast and your written stories and your videos and any other creative content you want all in one place, and if we all work together, maybe we can attract a big enough audience.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, it takes a lot of confidence and, energy to be the leader of that kind of thing. What led you to do that? Have you always been, hey, let's do a project and make it on your own? Or, how did you get so many people to just follow you? It seems great.
I mean, I'm still asking myself that question. I don't seek out leadership. It's not on my bucket list. It's more just I wanted to do this thing and I needed people to help me do this thing. So here's this thing. Who wants to do it? I basically posted the original show. I posted casting requests, audition packets everywhere I could think of. And I just got lucky enough to get a large number of people. Plus, I live in Columbus, Ohio, which has a really booming, thriving theater scene right now. Mm-hmm. And so most of the cast lived here. And then we've got people that come from out of town and a couple even from out of state every month to come perform with us. Mm-hmm. And, they just keep coming back. I mean, it's been over 2 years. We haven't lost a single cast member yet. Wow. And if anything, more and more people try to keep getting involved in the show.
Yeah.
So it just keeps growing and growing.
Do you write all of it, or do you have a team of writers?
Originally, I wrote all of it. Lately, my buddy has been writing some of the scripts. I still write most of it, but he writes some of it, and then I just do rewrites to try to keep it in line with the tone we've already established.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I listened to an episode of your radio hour, and it has such high production value. Kudos on getting a bunch of people who not only want to do stuff, but also want to do it at a high level.
Well, that's what we've been lucky, because we've had enough auditions from day one to be able to turn down the people that I don't feel are up to the quality. Yeah. And myself, I was planning to be an actor in the show, and once I started hearing auditions, I was like, nope, I'm not gonna be the one that drags the show down. I'll just sit back and write it.
I hear that. I also have a show that I do that I used to act in with these guys called The Neighborhood, and I pulled myself out of it because I was like, but everybody else is so much funnier. I could make them so much funnier if I just focus on them. And so now I don't really act in it either. So I totally understand. Interesting.
It's weird. I always write everything for myself to act in, no matter who shows up. So that's weird.
I think that's the more common thing. I definitely get a lot of surprise from people when I tell them I'm not in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I it's interesting in that way. What do you see as in your mind? What are you building? Or do you have a long-term idea of how it's going to go, or are you just I just want to keep writing this show until somebody tells me to stop?
Well, I think the more I work on this project, the more I want to work on this project.
Yeah.
So it's at this point, I've got a day job like everybody else, and I just want to get out of that day job. So now I'm just focused on where are income streams, how can we build this into an actual business so I can quit my job and write and edit and work with creative people all day.
Yeah.
An end goal for me as well. I just don't know how to.
So many of us want that goal. It's really hard to achieve.
You just have to embrace poverty the way that I was telling you I do all the time. I'm like, oh my God, it's so much money? 14 cents.
Yeah, I think if I had started earlier, I would have done that, but no.
Well,
I should have done that before I got a college education I'm still paying for and a mortgage and a child. Now it's too late.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I get. I'm like, my kid doesn't eat much. He's fine. I mean, he's gonna eventually. I get it, but
yeah, the teen years are gonna be real bad.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Eat all the food.
Yeah, Mama won't be a theater teacher then.
So, when did you start getting into kind of this whole thing? Because, like I had mentioned, that I kind of waited too long. I sat down to a desk job and didn't start theater stuff until I was 31 again. So I took a large break. Did you kind of have that same thing too? Were you involved earlier in life, or kind of all throughout?
Yeah. I mean, definitely in high school and stuff, I was in all the plays and musicals, and I was writing novels even then. But when I was in college and things got busy, and after college, looking to try to start a career, that kind of stuff does fall by the wayside until one day you're just like, I can't stand it anymore. I gotta be doing creative stuff.
Yeah, that's 100% how it went for me. And I've told these guys before, for a bit of time, the reason I was actually acting in the haunted houses and stuff was because I was doing outside entertainment, and that was kind of my filler. It was my, I don't know, what is that, the drug that they use to get people off of morphine or whatever?
Methadone?
Yeah, it was my methadone. And then I was like, no.
That's heroin.
Yeah. And
you
then,
get off
heroin,
with
sorry.
methadone. Yeah.
So, and then it was like improv sketch. Now I'm right back on it. Full
you can tell who parties in this trio.
Yeah, right. Patrick's like, what's that drug name? We're
there's
like,
a
I know
drug
what it is.
that does stuff.
Ayahuasca.
No, never ayahuasca.
Yeah. So when did you get started creating this kind of world? When did you combine with the people in Columbus to make this happen?
God, it's been almost 3 years now. Well, I started to have ideas, and then for a while I just kind of let them percolate. And then once I decided we were going to do it, I wanted to make sure that we really took our time and did it right. So we had 4 months worth of scripts done before we did casting. Once we started performing, I waited 6 months to start the podcast, so we'd have a backlog of stories. And I just feel like you got to be reliable, you got to be consistent. And so I did a lot of the planning, building up to it ahead of time to make sure once we hit the ground running, that stuff was already in place. And we started in a comic book shop, and the first 6 months worked pretty well. And then by month 6, the comic book shop doesn't hold that many people. So we were lucky enough to, when we started looking to find a theater in downtown Columbus that was like, yeah, come play here, and we won't charge you $1 million to rent the space, So we formed a partnership with MadLab Theater in Columbus, which is awesome. They only do original works. They've been around for 20 years, and they're just like, we'll just split the door with you. It's fine. You come here every month. And I mean, it's just been a dream partnership that's allowed us to be more front and center, involved in the city.
Do you guys get a lot of regulars coming back monthly for your shows?
I'd say most of our regulars are still friends or family. We've had a lot of new people this year start to check it out. And overall, the audience is growing, so I assume we're getting some repeat business. But, yeah, I haven't stopped to... Normally, I'm just so focused on watching the show, I'm not really looking around to see who's there.
Yeah.
Do you have a team, then, that helps you with that? Because as I recall, when we got in touch, it was through your Twitter... And it was the Twitter's being run by somebody else. So do you have like a whole team that's like helping with marketing and all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you do a project like this, it just grows beyond one person's control very quickly. So even when we were just the radio hour, I luckily got a script consultant, somebody running the sound equipment, and somebody, making sure we're listed on all the right websites. And then when we launched the network, we added a couple other people that are running